Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. What a wonderful Friday. Welcome to the 14th Somali Week Festival here in London, Kite Somali Week Festival. I would like to first thank all our international artists for coming from, I would say, from Finland to Horn of Africa, USA. So maybe first you would like to give a round of applause to one of the leading journalists and writer, Wechimei. It's also great pleasure to have here Abwan Makhachi Benadir. Makhachi Benadir Sodowo. I'm not going to mention everyone's name, but just to give you some idea who are you expecting this week. We have 22 events across London. It's not the beginning of Black History Month, but it's the beginning of Somali Week Festival, which is part and parcel of Black History Month. The 22 events are going to take place from today. We are here in British Library. We have a long partnership. I think that's the 4th year that we have our festival here. So can you please give a round of applause to the staff and great partners. Where is Jonathan? Jonathan and team, thank you for having us here. It's, I like the way that you have been very creative, even when you can't provide the theater, the main theater, that you managed to get us here. Don't you think it's wonderful? We have Somali Weeks not only putting senior Somali artists on the map, but also we try to encourage young writers and other artists in the UK, wider Europe diaspora, but also those back home. So I'm really absolutely incredibly delighted to have Abdulaziz Good Adde, who is here. Can you give at the back? You will see him at the back. Umar Serbia, he is the writer Fan and Fanan. What's Umar Serbia? There, all the way at the back. Please give him another round of applause. Not the least important, and I'm really, personally, it gives me pleasure to welcome a young lady, shining star of Somaliland, wildlife photographer, Huda Ali Banfas, an advocate for heritage, climate change, and those of us who know in the Horn of Africa, as we're speaking, the climate change, Europe is producing the field, and Horn of Africa is our lifestyle, our heritage, but also our way of life has been damaged by the climate change. So it's a pleasure to see young writers, but also young photographers that are really engaged with the topics that are very local with the international impact. Of course, it's great to have an artist with substance like Good Adde, Witchy, and so on. But Somali Week Festival would not be anything if we don't have our headliners from Jigjiga, Alidanto, and we also have our main headliner for this year, Awale Adam from Djibouti. Where's Awale? So there will be both in Alidanto will be in parking theater, but and Awal Adam will be our main headliner for the closing event, so don't miss it. A lot is happening. I'm not going to bore you with the program. Programs here. There are discussions around climate change. There are book readings. There are things like children's event tomorrow. It's already fully booked, and I love that Somali parents are taking for the first time their children serious, and really, that was the first event that was fully booked. So I'm very proud of you, those parents who booked the event for the kids to make that Saturday afternoon a bit more pleasurable than London now with this cold weather. There is a play of Duxi, rich mix that to play, but I would like to also to give special attention to Ifrah is here. Ifrah is our visiting playwright. She will have her one-act play about how to have fun in civil war. Those of you who have been in civil war, you know you need to cope even with the most extreme situation. So please don't miss that. It's 25th of October, how to have fun in civil war. There's still tickets available. Do go and see Ifrah. Ilana soo dhaweeya waa gabadha laba dhowr hablood baan haystaa hablo badan ma haysto marka si weyn u soo dhaweeya. One last thing I want to say about our visiting artists. I'm sure that, we have 20 artists from Finland, from Denmark. I'm not going to mention, sorry to my friends, but they are not less significant. Please read this. But there is one person I would like you to give round applause. Our theater headliner who came from Hargeysa, Somaliland, Ikran Chama. Ikran, aad iyo aad u soo dhawow. Waa markii ugu horeysay inoo timaado. Markaa si aad iyo aad uga soo qayb gala xafladeeda. Intaasaan ku soo xidhaya dad badan baa nala jooga Rashid Gamuta nala jooga saaxiibkii Hadrawi. We're going to have big commemoration this year for Hadrawi. This year has been extremely difficult year for Somali art and culture. We lost the soul of Somali culture. We lost Hadrawi, Ader Hadrawi. I tried to avoid to speak about him because I don't want to break in tears, but it has been very difficult. Also, we have lost Cham Hussein, who was one of the backbone of Somali literature, translator, the father of short story writer, but also Khadra Dahir Ige, Chimi. These are really, we have been shaken this year. After the pandemic, this was really hard time. We will have an afternoon, evening dedicated to Hadrawi, Monday. Those of you who are free, come and visit us. We have exhibition. His book is the only book available tonight. If you want to grab a translated work of Hadrawi, the work of Bill Harper and Bill Harper, Mart Alto, great translator of Hadrawi's work. So he will be reading also. So please grab that book, but also come and celebrate with. That's how we try to cope with the loss. Celebrate his heritage, his legacy to our culture, to our struggle, to our humanity, to our peace building, to our bridge, making bridges between people, but also speaking for the weak and deprived communities among Somali communities across the world. Marka adeero wuu maqan yahay haddaan bilaabo ma joojire waa aniga ireeray waa maalin farxad leh. But of course we are in London, most incredible cities of the world, after Hargeysa, of course. Marka, we have with us our deputy mayor of London, Marka. Debbie, we are incredibly happy to have you here as friend of our community. We are very proud to have a black deputy mayor champion our community. So thank you so much for being with us. I was just saying to our mayor, it's sad. We have been here in the UK for a very long time, for the last 100 years, but still yet we are unable to produce MP, Somali MP in the UK. So I'm hoping we have today Sultan from Finland, one of the Somali MPs in the Scandinavians, but also just to encourage these young Somalis here. Come on. 100 years too long not to be able to produce MPs. So that's why, marka halka dambu jooga sacab weyn ha maqlo. Of course, you didn't come for me, but that's there are people I would like to thank to. Somali Week Festival would not have been possible without the generosity of the Art Council of England. I would like you to give a round applause to the Hapshil groups. They have been there with us every year. But this year, we have many partners, sponsors, communities that we are working with. They are all here. But this year, we met new people. They were not only our sponsors, but they have really championed our work. We have here Hats Group. Hats Group is represented by Fathia, Hoda, and is Alex here? He will be joining them later. They did not only sponsor in big way, they gave us some transportation, but also they sponsored all their staff to come to Somali Week. So many of their staffers are here. So you don't get those kind of sponsors who are really engaged. We don't want companies just to give us money. We want them to champion our cause, link with the community, bring their staff. It's that interconnection. So can you please give a round of applause to Hats Group? Girls, you guys have been fantastic. I'm sure I'm forgetting too many. Sorry if I forget, but I realize I've been already speaking for too long and people did not come to see me. You don't come to see me speak, but I just want to say to you, thank you so much. And aad wada mahadsantihiin sida weyn ooga soo qayb gasheen wiigoo dhan waynu sugaynaa halkaa ka daawada waxa wiiga dhacaya waa mahadsantihiin.
Thank you so much, Ayan. Okay, so obviously Somali Week, today we have a host of sessions. I will step back. But before that, I also wanted to make sure that the audience has a bit of participation and we can break the ice because I'm hella nervous and you guys are all staring at me. So we're going to change it up a little bit for you. I'm going to speak in English today. There is a lot of people in the audience who don't speak Somali, and also my Somali is fish and chips, so we're not going to even try. What I would love, just to kind of get the audience going, is if you guys would like to just kind of like talk to the person behind you, in front of you, just for a quick second, like, hello, how are you? Just to kind of get going. You've got, say, 30 seconds just to do that. So don't have to get up, just in front, behind, to the side, introduce yourselves, go. Go ahead, let's hear some noise. I can hear you guys, but you guys are a lot louder than that. I know Somalis. Come on, I know some of you are not talking. Introduce yourselves. Well done. Amazing, now you know how I feel up here. Great, so your time is now up. Thank you very much. Great, this is what I wanted, a little bit more like livelihood in here. Great, thank you so much. I hope you guys introduced yourself to someone that you didn't know and now you have made a friend, hopefully, or someone that will say hello to you at least down the street. The next individual we have today is Debbie Weeks Bernard, who is the London Deputy Mayor of Communities and Social Justice, and she'll be up here for a minute. Debbie? A bit louder, guys, come on, come on. There we go. You're welcome, darling.
Thank you, everyone. Gosh, I've only just come up some stairs. I'm really unfit, my goodness. Okay, right. Hello, everyone. Really lovely to see you all, and it's a real honor to be here with you for the opening event for Somali Week Festival. As Samira said, my name is Debbie Weeks Bernard, and I am the Deputy Mayor of London for Communities and Social Justice, and my boss is Sadiq Khan. He's a great boss. I do like working for him, and I've been in this role since about 2018. But I haven't yet been able to participate in the Somali Week Festival, so this is a new experience for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. And so seeing all your lovely faces is helping me to get used to the experience. It's also a real honor to be in these really wonderful surroundings. I think the thing about Somali Week Festival that's so impressive, and I really need to thank Cade for the work that they do on this is that a lot of the events are held in really prestigious buildings. So you really feel as though not only are you getting a real good taste of what's wonderful about Somali culture and Somali heritage, but you're also experiencing it in some of the finest buildings that we have in our city. And so I'm incredibly grateful to them for doing that. It's also an honour to be in such illustrious company, as well as all of you. I know that we are really delighted to welcome the first MP, I think, in the Finnish Parliament who is Somali born. His name is Sultan Saeed Ahmed, and we will be hearing from him later, but he clearly is breaking enormous barriers in that work, and so I'm looking forward to hearing from him. It's always great to see the firsts, and I'm sure he's doing an amazing job, but it's also probably a really important job, so I am going to fangirl for a moment when I meet him, and I'm sure you all will too. So I'm really glad that we are in that illustrious company, but I think also the fact that we are in such illustrious company is testament to the way in which this week has started to really take a central place in London's cultural calendar. It's clearly a really important way to ensure that Somali cultural heritage is brought to the city and brought to the nation. And I really have to thank Ayan and Cade for the work that they do to ensure that Somali culture is both appreciated but also recognised. I am the co-chair of a commission that the Mayor set up in 2020 in the wake of the death of George Floyd. It's called the Commission for Diversity in the Public Realm, and we set it up in 2020 because despite the fact that this is a great city, I was born here, I love it, and it's a city in which over 300 languages are spoken, and around 1 in 4 people who live and work and are educated in this city were born outside of the UK, and almost half of our population is from a minority ethnic background. If you walk around our city and you look at our public realm, you look at our statues, our memorials, our murals, you don't see that diversity represented. And that's a travesty because diversity has been part of London for a long time, no matter what some people might like to try and tell you when they say that we've only just arrived. And what we want to do with that commission is we want to rectify that because our culture is what makes our city great. Having that diversity is the strength of our city. It's one of the most diverse in the whole world. And we need to see that diversity represented across our city, not just in our statues and our memorials, but also in the stories that are told about London and who gets to tell those stories. And some of the things that I'm always arguing about with whoever is interested in listening to me or hearing about it is the fact that our children need to see the history of their communities when they go to school. And you don't see Somali culture or heritage or history reflected in the London curriculum or in the school curriculum. And that needs to change. And so the Commission is principally about trying to turn that on its head. And we are really grateful to organisations like Cade who do the important work of making sure that the community, the heritage, the culture is uplifted. And that's a really important thing to do. And not only is this week a fixture on our cultural calendar, but it's also a really important part of Black History Month. And Black History Month, obviously, was started in 1987, so it's 35 years old now. And that was a month which was started to enable Black children to see themselves positively represented. These were children who were experiencing enormous levels of discrimination and racism wherever they went. And the month has been set up just to make sure that they could see themselves positively represented, they could hear about their history, they could see and understand that people from their communities had done great things, had contributed significantly to this country, and that would uplift their identities. And in the same way, Somali Week is doing the very same thing. It's for all of us, obviously. It's for all of you. It's for everyone who's not in this room. It's for those who are both Somali and those who are not, but particularly for children and young people, for them to see their culture represented so positively, to see all of the talent that emerges from the diaspora, to see themselves represented in those who are writing poetry, who are singing, who are dancing, who are writing books, is an amazing thing for them. And if there is one thing that I really want to make sure that Somali Week Festival does, is that it does that for young people and for children, for them to see their culture as young Somalis heralded and highlighted and amplified and celebrated. And that's what this week is principally all about. So the final thing that I really want to say is this. So Black History Month, as celebrated by us in City Hall, we had an event a few weeks ago, and the theme for Black History Month for the Mayor and myself this year is Pioneers. And it's principally about recognizing those who have gone above and beyond, those who have contributed so much that people outside of the community know who they are and are moved by what they do. And so I cannot leave the stage without referencing one of the great pioneers in Somali history and Somali culture, and Ian was referring to him before, and on behalf of myself and the Mayor, I do want to extend my deepest condolences to the family and the friends of Mohammed Ibrahim Masami, or Hadrawi. I need to make sure I refer to him properly. Because his words and his poetry have moved so many people, and he is a pioneer in the way in which he used his words to say so much about what is so beautiful and important about Somali culture. And I know that there will be so many poets and performers and artists whose work has been influenced by him, and his legacy will live through them in the way in which they perform, in the way in which they write, and the way in which they speak. And that's incredibly important. And we must always use moments like this, weeks like this, months like this. And I do say this often because obviously we are Black all year round, not just for 31 days, but for 31 days you do get to talk about what's wonderful about Blackness, which is a wonderful thing to be able to do. We need to use months like Black History Month and weeks like Somali Week Festival to ensure that we are reinforcing and uplifting and remembering and memorializing our pioneers who have done so much for our culture, and he is one of those individuals, and I know that he will be key to the way in which you celebrate and the way in which you experience the week that is to come. So the last thing to say is enjoy the week. The week is going to be fantastic and fabulous. Cade put on so much for you all to enjoy, participate, engage in. And to all of those poets and those performers and those artists and those activists and those musicians and those dancers, can I say to you all, thank you for your talent. Thank you for sharing your talent and your gifts with us. And thank you for all that you will be doing to ensure that this week goes so well and will be enjoyed by so many for the rest of the week. Thank you so much. Thank you.
As for dramatic effect, I swear. Okay, amazing. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much, Denise. The next speaker will be predominantly speaking in Somali. This section of the program will be in Somali. There will be no translation, but I'm sure your colleagues and friends that you've brought with you today can help with translations. Sultan Saeed Ahmed is the first Somali-born member of the Finnish Parliament in July 2022. He was also appointed Finland's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Special Representation on Peace and... We're going to start that again. Apologies. He was also appointed Finland's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Special Representative on Peace, Mediation on the Horn of Africa. We're going to leave it on that one. Thank you so much. A round of applause, please, for Sultan Saeed Ahmed.
السلام عليكم habeen wanaagsan fiid wanaagsan Somali Week aad baan idin salaamayaa kulay dadku waxay isleeyihiin qof siyaasad buu ka hadli doona laakiin caawa waxaan filayaa inaan fanka aad u dhex gali doono oo fanaaniintii fadhiday abwaanadii fadhiyaan fanka ka hadli doono khaalqaana cudurdaar baan ka soo jeedinayaa qodobada waxay ku saabsanaan doontaa qiimaha fanka iyo suugaanta iyo luqadda Soomaaligu qofka shakhsiga ay inoo leedahay aan ka hadli doonaa. Marka koowaad waxaan rabaa inaan u mahadnaqo qabanqaabiyayaasha Somali Week xafladan quruxda badan Somali meel walba la isaga yimi dadkii isdhexgalkoodii ka shaqeysay la isku yimaado xaflad aad u qaaliya. Waxaan uga mahadnaqayaa dhammaan dadkii soo diyaariyey. sideen ognahay luqadda Soomaaligu iyo dhaqanka marka laga hadlayo fanka waxa la oran karaa waa laan ama waa xidid qofka bini'aadanka ah ka mid ah. maanta markaan soo socday diyaaradan soo saarnaa saacad ka hor ayaa waxaan isir talow khudbadaada maxaad ku dartaa. waxaan soo xasuustay markaa caruurnimadeydii ayaan soo xasuustay. waxaan soo xasuustay fanaankii igu horeeyay ee aan hor fadhiisto. waxaan soo xasuustay fanaankii igu horeeyay ee kamankiisa aan ka saaro intuu weyse qaadanayay intaan u weydaartay ayaan kamankiisa ka saaray isagoo ku jira jawaan kuwa sonkorta ah. isna wuxuu ku fadhiyay gambadh uu weyse qaadanayay. markaas wuxuu fanaankii igu horeeyay heestiisana aan maqlo. ilaahay uu naxariisto waxa la oran jiray Muuse Ismaaciil Qalinle. marka caruurnimada qofku wuxuu arko ma ilaawo. markaan teenage-ka ahaa kulay wax badan oo qiimahay ma sameeyay. imika markaan uu weyn noqday baan ka fikiray alashaan nasiibkaygu siduu u wanaagsanayna fanaaniintii hore waaweyneed aan soo gaaray. heesta maalinta uu qaadayay waxa heesta la yiraahdo jaaheeda nuur kale ay jiidanayay juqumaan idhaahdeen haddan jari karaayo yaa. waxaan isweydiinaa inta badan Soomaalida waxaa jira qisooyin fara badan oo jacayla leenooga sheekeeyo laakiin dhibka ugu badan waxa weeyaan inagu taariikheena ma qorno. habeen dhaweyd tolo Djibouti baan joogay wiigii hore ahayd waxaan dhageysanayay Ilaahay u naxariistee Xudayfi oo halkan habeen isagoo nool oo lagu xusayo fankiisii ka sheekeynaya niman fanaaniina baa joogay. waxay ka hadlayeen heesu sameeyay 50 sanadood ka hor oo qiso run oo jacayl oo ku dhacday uu ka sameeyay. wadana waxa igu soo dhacday bal qisooyinkaas oo kale intaan Romeo and Juliet akhrinayno haddii kuwa la qori lahaa waxay noqon lahaayeen hanti u taala generation ka generation dadka Soomaalida u taala. waana waxaan ku gubaabinayo inay Soomaalidu maanta ay qisooyinka ay qoraan. sideen ognahay dhaqankeena Soomaalida fanka iyo suugaantu waxa weeyaan shay marka qofka Soomaaliga uu dhibaataysan yahayna lagu hiiliyo. marka barwaaqa jirto marka culaad jirtana de magaranaysa laga qayb qaato. tusaale ahaan oo kale 1973kii markii dhulka Soomaalida badankooda xornimada ay qaateen ee Faransiisku wali uu gumaysanayay Djibouti fanaankii weynaa Ilaahay u naxariistee Maxamed Mooge heesiisii caanka ahaa ay ka mid ahayd heesta xeebta Djibouti markuu lahaa ma xayirin danguud mana talin xumaan abid xabashina uma gelin xeebta Djibouti Soomaali laga xaday haddii aan xagaa tagay maan jabin xeerkee maxaa la igu soo xidhay agoon xoolo kama dhicin xarko goysna maan noqon eexra kamaan gelin cidna uma xifaalayn xogta dalkayga maan bixin. halkaa waxay ka tusaysaa Soomaalidu marka maaragtay Soomaali kale loo hiilinayna heesu waxay ahaayeen waxa la isugu gudbiyo fariinta fanka iyo luqadda Soomaaligu fariinta la isugu sheego dadka lagu gubaabiyo wax loogu sheego. marka barwaaqadu jirto wanaagu jirana waxay ahaayeen waxa la isugu hiiliyo lagaga hadlo wanaaga jira. haddii Soomaali dhibaataysan yahay heesaha caanka ah aadka u caanka ah ee qof kasta uu garanay waxa ka mid ah heesta tiraahda Soomaaliyay tooso isku tiirsaday hadba kiina taageer waxa weeyaan halka waxaad ku fahmaysaa Soomaalidu waxay ahaayeen dad luqadda Soomaaliga iyo waliba fanku uu yahay halka aynu ka shidaal qaadano marka barwaaqo jirto marka dhib jiro. marka haddii waxa maanta aan sidan oo kale loo xusin oo aan la sameyn xafladaha sidan u weyn la isugu imanayo la isugu sheegayo hadda maanta waxa laga yaabaa halkan ay joogaan dhalinyaro sidaan uu markan yaraa Muuse Ismaaciil Qalinle aanu ciyaaloon fahmin wuxuu ka hadlayo aanu hor fadhiyay laakiin aan xafidoyn heestii iyo midhihii inay qaar badan saameyn ku yeelanayso xafladan oo kale markay ka soo qayb galaan dadkii dhaqanka hayay fanka hayay suugaanta hayay waxaana soo jeedin lahaa xafladan oo kale inaan ingiriisku lagu dhiganayo dee la ballaariyo oo bal meelo badan oo adduunka la gaarsiiyo oo meelo badan lagu qabto si dee Soomaaliya oo dhan uga faa'iideysato. Sideen ognahay maanta geeska Afrika dhibaatada ugu badan looga baahan yahay in looga hiiliyo waa isbeddelka cimilada iyo abaarta dhulka Soomaalidu ay degto, khaasatan abaartii ugu darneyd 70 sannadood soo marta tii ugu xumeed baa ka jirta, cunto la'aan baa ka jirta, dhibaatooyin badan baa ka jira. marka in xafladahan oo kale xitaa magaranaysa abwaaniintu bal maanta ilaa heeso aanu samayno dadka dib loogu guubaabinayo oo cadowga maanta ay ka mid tahay abaartu dadka lagu xasuusinayo bal in arrimaha laga hadlo aad bay u wanaagsan tahay. marka waxaan anoo hadalka soo gaabinaya inoo sheegaya luqadina Soomaaligu waa muhiim in la qoro. isbuucii hore waxaan joogay Djibouti, dabeeto waxaan aad doonayay bal inaan u baaro fanka iyo suugaanta. maskaxdeedana waxaa ku jirtay inaan weekend ka soo qayb galayo. dabeeto waxaan u tagay dad fara badan oo Djibouti markii xornimada qaadanaysay 1977kii joogay. waxay ii soo direen oo iminkaan haystaa heeso Soomaaliya, Xudayfi uu tumayo, Xalimo Khaliif Magoolna ay qaadayso, adduunka meel kale inaan laga helin, internetkana aan ku jirin. waxaan tegey aan soo arkay cajalado dhan oo kayda oo la duubay kuwii qalinka lagu duubi jiray markuu cajalada rikoodhka cuno, oo iminka haddii ay sidaa u sii yaalaan 5 sano kadib aan la helin xitaa wax akhriya. marka waxaa muhiim ah in Soomaalidu ay u kacdo heesahoodii hore. heesuhu maaha inta maanta inagu jirta internetada haysano. fanaaniinteennii hore heeso badan oo ay qaadeen baa jira oo weli aan magaranaysa casriga maanta loo bedelin. in kuwa la casriyeeyo waa muhiim. inaynu sheekooyinkeena aynu qorno oo aynu at least ka fikirno 20 sano 30 sano kadib inanka maanta magaaladan ku dhasha ee weligii Ingiriiska aan ka bixin maxaynu uga tegaynaa. marka khudbadeeda intaasay ku saabsaneed muhiimadda uu leeyahay dhaqanku iyo fanku waa wax laga qayb qaadan karo nabadda loo heesaa marka nabad jirto. marka walaalkaa dhiban yahay waa wax loogu hiiliyo wanaga ka hadlaynay. marka aad baa u mahadsantihiin. waxaana idla joogi doonaa weekendiga xafladda socoto dhan. ayaana aad baan ugu mahadnaqayaa sida wanaagsan ee xafladdan ay 100% isugu xil saartay. laakiin waxa weeyaan xafladdan in magaranaysa meelo badan la gaarsiiyo si ay dadka halkan fadhiya in ka badan uga faa'iideysato oo dhaqankii iyo magaranaysa luqadeen lahayn iyo hiddiheen la is xasuusiyo. aad baa u mahadsantihiin. xafladdan waa inoo furan tahay.
All right, thank you so much. For the next section, there's going to be a panel, so the guys are just going to set up, so bear with us 1 second. Please don't go anywhere, it will only take a moment. You guys can come up. Can everyone hear me okay? Here we go, there we go. So for this evening's panel, we have a number of individuals from different sectors of different industries who support the Somali diaspora. First, we're going to bring up Khayd Arous Ahmed, who is a filmmaker. He's not coming up. They can't actually hear you in the back, which is quite interesting. Does anyone want to come up? No? There we go. Go on up. Thank you. Take a seat, guys. Come on up. So we have Khayd Arous Ahmed. See? I I knew I was going to do it as well. We've been joking many a times tonight, but he will fill you in on the joke, I'm sure. He is a Finnish...
Somali.
You're not Somali.
I'm Somali.
He's a Finnish Somali director and writer who has directed several successful shorts, including 2017's Night Thief. He is best known for the directing and award-winning feature that is The Gravedigger's Wife, which he is also showcasing at Somali Week Festival across venues tonight. Tonight is actually the opening night for that, so you guys please go and see it. Round of applause. This is for you, my love. That's for you. No, that's for Muna. No. Nothing, give me 1 second. Amazing. Next we have Muna Rumi, who is an A&R manager at Columbia Records. She broke into the music scene at the age of 16 with a self-produced radio program, and soon after went on to found a music management company in Birmingham. Well done. Round of applause. In her current role, she specializes in spotting, recruiting, and nurturing talent across the UK. Welcome. Next, we have Abdelaziz Godaid, who is a writer, translator, and blogger. In 2017, he published the book and has translated the works of Edward Said, Karl Marx, and Frans Fanon into Somali. He is currently working on Somali translation of Dr. Mohammed Aden Sheikh's book, Back to Mogadishu, The Memoirs of a Somali Herder. Round of applause. That is nothing new. Thank you so much all for joining me. Welcome, firstly. What I would love to open with is a question for you all, which is, what are you currently listening to, watching, or reading that's inspiring your artwork or your work? Who would like to go first?
So what's inspiring me at the moment? Music-wise. I really like Beyonce's new album. I think that's cool. I know that's a bit random, guys. But
No, it's not random at all. What do you like about the album?
it just feels good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Feels good in your soul?
yeah.
Great.
That's why. So yeah, what else am I really inspired by at the moment? I think just life, really.
Yeah.
The people around me, my job. Yeah, find inspiration in everything. So
Amazing.
that's me.
Amazing. Khader?
Boleh maqlaa? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am watching old African films by Osman Sembene and also Jibril Diop Mamti, and just to get an idea of what African history, cinema history was like. So I'm watching a lot of African films.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm a translator and a writer, so words inspire me.
Yeah.
Words from all over the place. Words from all over the Bible. From all of the ages. From all of the dictionaries. And so in a word.
Work is inspiring you.
Yeah.
Amazing. And today on this panel, we're going to kind of interchange between English and Somali. So sometimes we'll translate, sometimes we'll leave it as it is. The part of the panel we're going to now discuss is the intersection of tradition and modern Somali art forms, and how each of these artists actually kind of mold their culture and their current life into their art form. Let's start with Muna.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you kind of find that transition between your culture and your art form? How do you see that showing up?
I think, well, it's something that we have to deal with every day. It's a bit obvious. I'm a Somali woman, I'm a hijabi in a white corporate company, and especially because there's not many black people in these kind of companies, and women especially, and stuff like that. So it can be a bit challenging at times, but I think it's a good thing, you know. At the same time, there's still advantages to it, because I feel like if I wasn't a Somali hijabi Muslim woman, maybe I wouldn't have got as further as I have in my industry. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of been an advantage.
Yeah, round of applause for that.
So,
yeah.
There's no one like me. Like,
Yes.
not to show off.
Hey,
There's
show
no one
off.
like
That's what
me,
we're here
so-
for. Shine light on you.
Yeah.
Definitely. Amazing. Gentlemen?
So, can I go first?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the theme of the year is very interesting because for me as a translator, because translation, I see translation as a bridge between the traditional and modern form of arts. To start with, the Somali society is in transition. We all know that the way people express themselves was in the old days mainly based on using the traditional forms of art, chiefly the orality of Mansour, poetic art. But today we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of October 21st, 1972, the day the Somali language got its official script. 50 years after, or half a century, we have witnessed a great shift towards writing. Even the poets like the late Hadrawi used writing to at least conserve their verses, if not to compose them. So what this means for the greater societal reality, I think I argue that translators as writers can contribute to as a conjunction to negotiate between the traditional and modern forms of art by revitalizing the former and enriching the latter. We as translators are agents of both the source language and the target language. So we can be dubbed as the only good double agents. So, and we are on a monumental bridge that connects the past, the present, and hopefully the future. So, as I said before, we deal with words, these tiny, fine creatures we call words. Because translators try their best to make sure the exact contextual meaning of the word. You ask yourself some seemingly basic yet fundamentally deep questions about the word in question. For example, what is it? Why is it used? How is it used? The context and historical background of the word, the cultural and ideological aspects of the word, the very nature of the word. It is epistemological etymology, the relationship between the word and the author of the source text. By going through this rather sophisticated process, you can successfully manage to get the corresponding words in the target language. So here where the enriching aspect of the modern art form comes in.
Yeah.
When you are trying to get the corresponding words between the target language and the source language, you are really doing, you are acting as a bridge. So, and the idea of translation is becoming more and more familiar with the Somali readers' collective psyche since the publication of the first, as far as I know, the first Somali edition of Jidka Lomari Falsafada Runta in 1977, translated by Muhammad Mahmoud Abd Nunkal, which was a summarily translation of 2 books on philosophy in Russian. Our Somali translation is shelf in our libraries, has becoming more and more increased both in quantity and quality. And during the last decade, and you know that in 2011, this Somali Week Festival had translation as its theme. We are driving towards translation as a modern art in an unprecedented, fast and fury-like speed. Why translate? One can ask. Why not? One can reply. Thank you very much.
Wow. I have so many questions for you, but Heather, please.
I will be here for you.
Definitely.
I mean, you can't beat that information. I was recently in Africa where I spent 2 months. And I was spending a lot of time at those spots where, older Somali men gather around, to drink tea and, share information and talk. And it was an incredible experience because I got to gain a lot of information, a lot of history, about these individuals. And so I'm always, listening. I'm always observing. I'm always talking, to people. So I get, a lot through that. That's my main, source of of connecting these two together.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We all spoke about, each of you have spoken about essentially like taking what you started, whether it's Muna when looking at herself and what makes her unique, whether it's Abdelaziz who, takes the language, or whether it's Khadr who takes what he sees and puts it into cinema. So there is a source, there is a location, and I actually really enjoyed what you said, which is, the source and then the target, and, that moving target and that language as a target. For me, it's movement, isn't it? Like we're constantly moving, we're constantly evolving. And a question comes to mind for you always, if we're constantly moving, constantly evolving, how do you see your artwork evolving over time? Or how have you seen, actually, your artwork evolve over time, individually? From maybe when you started your short films, to now your feature, have you seen a transition of what you take as inspiration versus what you take as inspiration now?
Of course, because as a human being, I'm always growing, each day, I wake up as a different person. I'm always, like I say, I'm changing, I'm evolving, I'm always experiencing things that I haven't experienced yesterday. And it's with those, elements that I grow, that helps me, first to change as a human being, and then through that, evolve and my art. And and that also helps you see things from a different perspective, so yeah, I think that's...
Amazing. What about you, Muna? Have you seen, obviously you yourself, you're a hijabi woman, you started, did you see that there's a shift in where you take inspiration from when you started versus where you take inspiration from within the culture now?
Yeah, definitely. I think more as well as I've gone older, I think that plays a part more. Like you get inspired by your culture, a lot of things, you know what I mean? So definitely, for sure, I do feel like that is the case.
Amazing. And for you, Abdelaziz?
Of course, because we as humans are constantly in transition. And when you are dealing with a world that is in transition, words that are in transition, you definitely, it's a reflection, you will become a reflection of the work you do. So you grow, and I grow as my work grows. That's what actually happens. And for example, when I have started, officially started translating stuff and writing in Somali, it was back in 2015, 16. And now, when I compare the two, I can see that I've grown very evolutionarily, if I can use the word.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And what strikes me is there seems to be a core inspiration from all of you. Can you name a part of the culture or part of your life that has made a huge impact? That it's, that's that cornerstone of that's where I've taken all my inspiration. For me, example, I take a huge inspiration from Somali fashion. I enjoy seeing how we dress, how we present ourselves in every day, and that's where I take my inspiration from daily. For you guys, what is the cornerstone of the inspiration, or is there a breadth of things? Anyone, feel free.
I think for me, it's Somali women, because I feel like we're just very strong. You know what I mean? We're leaders. I feel like we all just take inspirations from our mothers, and our mothers are strong ladies and stuff. So I feel like that's for me, that Somali woman in me strikes through, Somali woman in me strikes through. So that's me personally.
Amazing.
I think the greatest inspiration in my life is actually I'm with Muna. Although we don't share the same mother, we share the same identity. So my mother is the greatest inspiration in my life. Not only that she is my mother and she has every right to be respected. No, she is uniquely inspired me. She has uniquely inspired me to to think freely, to think of myself as myself. And that is what driving me to this day and hopefully to the future.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I will say thank you, Mom.
I'm always inspired by my surroundings, by the people that I hang out with, the people in my life. Every film that I have created so far have been inspired by conversations that I have had with my family members, with my close friends, with my colleagues. So I believe that you cannot force inspiration. You know, it has to come to you. You know, organically. You know, and I never go around, or like I never think about. I never go around to think about what to write about next. You know, or like force myself. So I'm, like I said, I'm always observing. I'm always open, you know, to my surroundings and listening, and you know, that's how I get inspired.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hoya Ma'an plays a huge part in Somali Week Festival. We and I 100% back that. Our parents have done an incredible amount for us to be where we are today, and I just want to give a round of applause to both the mum and the dads in the room. You know, I think for me it's something that's become very prevalent in this conversation is that, and even backstage, we all have very different cultures in terms of, we have Somali culture, but we also have cultures that we have grown up in. For me, it's the UK, which is why my Somali is not great. We'll talk about that later. And for you guys, I can see there's multiple different languages that also play in part, and also countries that you might have visited. How does where you've lived or where you've visited, and potentially additional languages, have like supported or actually potentially hindered your art form?
Can I go first?
Of course. Go for it. The translator's like, I'm ready.
I think every single word, every single language that I can speak of, I can read about it with it, and I can listen, has contributed a lot into my translation efforts, to my translation process. For example, if I get a book that is about to be translated, which is in English, for example, I also can read in Arabic. So I used to search for and Google for and search for the Arabic translation of that book, if any. So the greatest news as a translator is that it is available. When it says the Arabic translation of the book you are looking for is available. So, because when you are reading in one language, you are living in one life. But when you are reading more than one language, you are living multiple lives in multiple universes. So, and that has its impact on my work as translator and writer and stuff.
Amazing.
What was the question again?
So the question was, how does either by being bilingual, living in multiple countries, growing up in different countries, also contribute to your art form, or essentially not contribute, potentially?
Yeah, I feel like your environment, the languages, all of that, it subconsciously influences you in a way. Do you know what I mean? I'm from Birmingham, so it's the smallest city to London. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's completely different to London. So, yeah, that inspires me as well. So, yeah, I feel like it plays a part, defo. I not only speak 2 languages, only Somali and English.
That's more than most, so.
I definitely speak Somali better than you.
Yes. That rounds a round of applause on that. Well done. I think what I'd love to know is, obviously you said Birmingham is a smaller city. Like, what do you take from Birmingham specifically? What is it that you think this is what Birmingham is, or this is what London is, and the distinguish between the two?
I would say like Birmingham's a bit more like, it's just boring, it's quiet, it's chilled. We're in the middle of the sticks.
Is anyone from Birmingham here?
So I just feel like it's different to London. I feel like London, there's like so much culture. It's the main city, right? It's the capital city, so it's a bit different. But I think Birmingham's just a bit more chilled, relaxed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's Somali community there as well, who are very conservative.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Birmingham's just Birmingham.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Birmingham's just Birmingham. Khaled?
Mona has already said what I wanted to say, but I will add this, that your environment, plays a big part in shaping who you are. And I spent more than half of my life in Finland, and it hasn't been easy growing up in there. But I somehow found a way to get the best out of the Somali culture and also get the best out of the Finnish culture, and then combine something that that was more like the person that I am today. I get the best of from both cultures, and created this sense of identity of who I am today. And yeah, I think the environment that you are in plays a big part of who you become.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I can open up to the audience for maybe 2 questions before I get told it's time. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, there's one right at the back. There's 2 at the back. May I ask you to shout, if that's okay? Or do we have a microphone? Oh, we want them at the front. Let me do the front, and then I'll come to you guys. Sazan. Go ahead. Amazing, thank you. I can take one more question. Who can shout the loudest? Go ahead. Yes? Did you get that? Oh, I can repeat it.
I think I'm not.
So in terms of like translating some of the scholars, you have like Karl Marx that you've translated.
Yeah.
Some of the English words are quite heavy
Okay.
and quite dense. How did you translate some dense, with multiple faceted meanings into a Somali language? That was the question. Am I correct? Correct, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, for example, when I'm translating from Karl Marx or Frantz Fanon or Edward Said and the likes, I know that the words they use and the relationship between the words and them is quite specific and unique. So what I do always is consult with what has been written in Somali previously in the 70s, 80s, and the likes. So here's the process. I recognize the word that's to be translated. That's very important to the author. And then I go to my laboratory, which is the Somali language. And I look for what kind of word can convey the most appropriate meaning, or what can be approaching to this intended meaning. And I usually got one.
Great.
from either the living dictionaries, the old guys, or from the books, the dictionaries of, of Somali language, or from the books for terminologies, which are plenty. Because my translation works are somehow on the same area. They are methodologically linked together. If I get one word solved, that's good news for the rest of my books.
Right.
Because they share some basic words and terms. So that's actually how my laboratory works.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and that concludes this section. We are going to clear the stage one more time. Please don't go anywhere. Can I have one time for one more? Go on then. Go ahead. Are you able to shout? Welcome, Maklaya. Suk. Can, 1 second. Can someone get a microphone to him quickly? Okay. Amazing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no problem.
Any word?
Any word?
What mahasantai?
Okay.
You can't put me on the spot
Listen,
like
you
that.
said your Somali's good.
Not like that. You can't. Can I say anything? Any word?
Any word?
Oh,
Or say after me.
Bio.
That's very smart.
aad baan idin wada salaamayaa waana ku mahadsantihiin intaad ka soo qayb gasheen waana ku faraxsanahay
Aad iyo aad baad mahadsantihiin. Thank you so much. We're just getting ready for two very exciting things that are happening now. We're going to have Ikran Jama, who is going to be singing with us tonight. So a big round of applause, please, everybody, for Ikran. Come on, guys, a little bit louder. You can do this. Come on. There we go.
Thank you.
Adi. Music, please. There we go. No, the singer's going first.
nafgarad xumun gurayniban kadigi ka tagay gaarsiinaya nafgarad xumun gurayniban kadigi ka tagay gaarsiinaya wadikala shirtaan garu qaadaya qalbigii gubta gubaabiya shirtaan garu qaadaya qalbigii gubtaan gubaabiya jacaylkaygan gure godoba uma qabo 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 Gabison Rainiban Koreami so kudubida Yadi Gabison Rainiban Koreami so kudubida Gedna mahan langaru qadaya ko ashada daban ka garabaya Bahan jacaylkaygan guray godobo uma qabo 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 waayisiyo waqtiga hariyeyo warankii kalgacalka walalow igeliye waybaan ku noole qofba waayisiyo waqtiga hariyeyo warankii kalgacalka walalow igeliye hawaybaan ku noole walaalkay fanaan ugu qaaliya wiilkii dhahayo wadayaasha dhigo asxaabkii helay wiilkii dhahayo wadayaasha dhigo waxtarkaygii baa tahay warnay mahayside waxtarkaygii baa tahay warnay mahayside wiilkii dhahayo wadayaasha dhigo wiilkii dhahayo wadayaasha dhigo waxtarkaygii baa tahay warnay mahayside waxtarkaygii baa tahay warnay mahayside waladayda maqalo haddii wayne nagu simo jacayla wadaagneha adnahay wax yeelayn waladayda maqalo haddii wayne nagu simo jacayla wadaagneha adnahay wax yeelayn shawiyadeeduna way dambeeyaan markaynu haahey faano la socda waqalku soo da'ay waageera baarsaday webigiyo xareedii ubaxii waraabsheen wacdigaagu igu noqoy sida waqalku soo da'ay waageera baarsaday webigiyo xareedii ubaxii waraabsheen wacdigaagu igu noqoy ibka laguma waaree nafta weheladiiso ibka laguma waaree nafta weheladiiso waxtarkaygii baa tahay warnayba hayside waxtarkaygii baa tahay warnayba hayside waa gudoomeeyahay ayaan waanaguma waaree nafta weheladiiso ibka laguma waaree nafta weheladiiso waxtarkaygii baa tahay warnayba hayside waxtarkaygii baa tahay warnayba hayside waanadayda maqalo haddii wayne nagu simo jacaylaha wadaagine adnahay waxyeelayn waanadayda maqalo haddii wayne nagu simo jacaylaha wadaagine adnahay waxyeelayn thank you waa mahadsantihiin aad baan idin salaamaya
Round of applause for Ikram. Come on, round of applause, guys. Well done, well done. Your next performance tonight is traditional Somali dance, and that is by Qurande.
Bisinka alla balay bayray سلاي أحمد يا المعومة جل الله يا سلاي أحمد يا المعومة جل الله يا سلاي وكا أحمد يا المعومة جل الله يا سلاي بسم الله صلى الله عليه يا 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 كنسي كنسر عليه يا كنسي كنسر عليه يا كنسي كنسر عليه يا كنسر عليه يا كشبحة كشبحة عليه يا كشبحة كشبحة عليه يا كشب كشبحة كشبحة عليه يا كشبحة كشبحة عليه بسم الله بسم الله صلى الله عليه يا بسم الله صلى الله عليه يا بسم الله صلى الله عليه عليك بسم الله صلى الله عليه يا كنسي كنسر عليه يا كنسي كنسر عليه يا كنسي كنسر عليه يا كنسي كنسر عليه يا كشبحة كشبحة عليه يا كشبحة كشبحة عليه يا كشب كشبحة كشبحة عليه يا حقو كشبحة عليه يا حقو 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 هي وكا ايه هو يوالو يوالو هو يوالو ايه هو يوالو يوالو هو يوالو ايه هو يوالو يوالو هو يوالو صوصع صوصع سرادي اسيدادو كللواي صوصع سرادي اسيدادو كللواي هلوي وناغي ولاني من هلين هلوي هلوي وناغي ولاني من هلين هلوي واتا يدي ولا واتي سمتا واتا يدي ولا واتي سمتا حقو 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 هيا هيا وكا هو يوالو 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 هو يوالو 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 صوصع صوصع سرادي اسيدادو كللواي صوصع سرادي اسيدادو كللواي بربرناي اما بوشي عوني جيرني برقبناي اما قدنبال لغو ستري بربرناي اما بوشي عوني جيرني قاقبناي اما قدنبال لغو ستري اللي وناقي ولاني من هلي هلوي حقو 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 هيا هيا وكا عروسي عروسي نكولبا عروسي هيا نكولبا عروسي عروسي نكولبا عروسي هيا نكولبا عروسي عروسي نكولبا عروسي هيا نكولبا تباحو تباحو سعدني تباحو هيا سعدني تباحو تباحو سعدني تباحو هيا سعدني حقو 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 يو هوي عروسي عروسي نيكولبا عروسي هيا نيكولبا عروسي عروسي هيا نيكولبا عروسي هيا نيكولبا عروسي عروسي هيا نيكولبا عروسي هيا نيكولبا دبحو دبحو سعدني دبحو هيا سعدني دبحو دبحو سعدني دبحو هيا سعدي دبحوي دبحوي سعدي دبحوي هيا سعدي دبحوي دبحوي عقو دبحوي هيا سعدي حقو 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 يا شبنا شبنا هي هوبالا هوبالا هوبيوي هوبالا هوبالا هوبيوي هوغي بتروح حماداي هوغي مر بداوي تمتاي هوغي مرغنا كسيساي هوغي بتر واني بوسداي هوغي نمو بيرك كلا جراي هوبالا هوبالا هوبيوي هوغي بتر واني بوسداي هوغي نمو بيرك كلا جراي هوغي بتر وحماداي هوغي مكي بداوي تمتاي هوبالا هوبالا هوبيوي هوبالا هوبالا هوبيوي هوبالا هوبالا هوبيوي هوبالا هوبالا هوبيوي هبل هوبي يا هوبي هبل هوبي يا هوبا هبل هوبي يا هوبي هبل هوبي يا هوبا هبل هوبي يا هوبي هبل هوبي يا هوبا يا هوبي هبل هوبي يا هوبا let's get ready digga digga da 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 wait digga هبل هوبي يا هوبي هبل هوبي يا هوبا هبل هوبي يا هوبي هبل هوبي يا هوبا هبل هوبي يا هوبي هبل هوبي يا هوبا هبل هوبي يا هوبي هبل هوبي يا
La
dad hadaaganne hoy dad hadaaganne hoy dad hadaaganne hoy dad hadaaganne hoy dad hadaaganne hoy.
Thank you so much. Wow. What an incredible closing. Aad iyo aad baad mahadsantihiin caawa inaad dhegaysatay dadka aad daawatay. And that is my Somali. You guys have been you guys have been an incredible audience, and I thank you so much for your time, your energy, and also for supporting Somali Festival during this time. It happens every year, and obviously it would not exist if you guys didn't come, participate, and also volunteer. So I just want to give a shout out firstly to the volunteers who have actually all around and organising the event. Please give them a round of applause. I would like to give a big round of applause to the panelists and all the speakers that have come on tonight. And also a round of applause to you guys for attending, for enjoying, for smiling and participating when required. I appreciate your energy and your time, and thank you so much, and good night.